Hello, Disney fans. I've always wanted to talk more about the Disney songs, and I've gotten away from that lately, and I think it's high time that I analyzed or reviewed or gave my thoughts about another song that Disney's done. My last one was reviewing Hellfire, which was a long time ago that I made that video. So I thought I would do I Always Wanted a Brother because right now, what's the main Disney thing everyone's talking about? Mufasa. I have yet to actually see this movie, but I kind of cheated and read the novelization, so I know the story. And of course, there's been a million and one clips released on YouTube. And I think this song is a fan favorite out of all the songs so far, although all the songs that I've heard are really good. They were written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who of course wrote the music for Moana, for Encanto, and was famous for making musicals of his own, such as Hamilton. So when you hear Lin-Manuel Miranda has been writing songs for Disney, you know it's going to be good. And this song is one of the joy bombs, as he refers to them in the movie. One of the moments where everything is really happy. And we need happiness at this moment in the story because, spoiler alert, Mufasa has been separated from his parents, from his biological parents, and he has just had to be adopted by Taka's family. Taka, who will, of course, grow up to be Scar. I'm going to refer to him as Taka throughout this video because that's his name at this point. And it's funny to see how much Taka is like Simba. I was really surprised because just listen to how this song starts out. When I am king, no other animal will break my stride, break my stride. And my brother, when I'm king, you'll always take my side. Yeah, right. That's right. It's done in a very subtle way, but it's still easy to see the parallels to another Disney song. I'm gonna be your mighty king, so enemies beware. You can see what I mean about Taka being very much like young Simba was. And it's interesting to see, it's interesting to think about, would Simba have grown up to be more like the Scar we would come to know if things had gone differently, or would Mufasa's guidance have changed that? I think it would have, because Mufasa could have set him on the right path. One of the sad things about this movie is Taka did not have a good example from his own father. But here we see, Mufasa with him, but Mufasa is still just a cub himself. But we still see him being a good influence on Taka, or at least trying to be a good influence later on. This scene is even filmed very much like I Just Can't Wait to Be King, with them running through a wild herd. Through a herd of other animals, rather. You got your elephants, giraffes, all kinds of other animals that they're interacting with. And I gotta say, since the quote unquote live action Lion King that was made in 2019, this is a lot better as far as the CGI goes. The the animals all express much more emotion, and those cubs are pretty cute, you gotta admit. Now you can see them having fun together, and the song goes on with the other animals talking to them and kind of giving them warnings, just like Zazu did to Simba years later. When I am king, you are king. The other animal will break our pride, break our pride. And my brother, our prey may run away, but they can't hide. What's your hide? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, she didn't say hide away, let's go. Did your father say you could be on this? Okay, run away, let's go. It's so fun just to see the two cubs having fun together. And Even though, I'm sure it wasn't comfortable for them. I love the porcupine coming up where Taka and Mufasa accidentally encounter a porcupine. And one thing you may have noticed, this is the first time that Mufasa is in any song. Well, first time he does any actual singing, because there is a song before this in the movie. But the first major song we see Mufasa do any singing in, he is very much second place to Taka so far. He does very little of the singing himself, mostly just joining in with Taka on the chorus.
Did your mama say you could be off this road? You better shout, yes you are, let's go! Did your father say you could be off this far? Make a wish on the brightest star and I say, I always wanted a brother, I always wanted a brother, I always wanted a brother just like you. And I always wanted a brother, I always wanted a brother, I always wanted a brother just like you.
So far, the song has been entirely playful. Just two young cubs, two brothers having fun together. Getting into mischief, getting into trouble, but in a fun way, not where they're actually getting into trouble. But things take a little bit more serious tone, and we can see that Mufasa is the more mature of the two.
See? Those birds are watching the world unfold. The world unfold. Oh, brother, my brother. When I'm king, they will do as they're told. You may look down on them, but they are.
Here we see that Taka doesn't really respect other creatures. He has no acknowledgement of what makes birds special, while Mufasa does. And we see this as the clip continues.
Can't catch me, and where they go cannot be controlled. No one looks down on me. They look down on us, brother. Some things you taste, you cannot hold. Okay, it's getting old. Let's go, let's go!
Again, I'm reminded of Simba and how he didn't respect Zazu. Remember this part of I Just Can't Wait to Be?
I think it's time that you and I arranged a heart-to-heart.
Kings don't need advice from little hornbills for a star.
Again, it's easy to see the comparisons, and really, if Taka had had someone like Mufasa as a parent to guide him, it might have been different. But the Mufasa that we have at this point in the story is not yet ready to step into a parental type role. He's very much going to be a protector for Taka throughout the movie, but we're about to see an instance where Taka gets the chance to step up and defend him.
Got to find a way, find a way, let's go! I heard his father say he doesn't want this stray. I tell you to say that again to my face.
I think this is my favorite part of the whole song, where we see just how fiercely Taka is willing to defend Mufasa. And in fact, if it weren't for Taka, Mufasa would never have been allowed to enter into the family. He would not be alive. And so we see Taka does start out as a very good brother to Mufasa.
You to say that again to my face. What did you say about my brother? That's not a trait, that's my brother. You stay away from my brother, cause I say so. If you put your paws on my brother, you'll be the judge of his brother. Those are the laws for my brother. Where'd he go?
In the next part of the song, we get a moment of Mufasa by himself. And he's reflective on, what he's lost. He's lost his mother and father, and yet he's found a brother. And this is also the start of time passing for the two cubs. And I love the addition of seeing a lion's face in the stars, which of course is a consistent thing throughout the Lion King movies, that the great kings of the past are up in the stars.
I always wanted a brother. I still remember my mother, one season after another.
In the original Lion King, of course, we saw Simba grow up crossing a log during Hakuna Matata. And I think this was a pretty clever way to see the two cubs grow up. We see another animal pass them while they're rolling and playing together, and the next thing we see is them as adults. I thought that was a neat way to do it.
Everyone sing for my brother. Do anything for my brother. I'll be king with my brother by my side. I've always wanted a brother. Now we rely on each other. One season after another.
The song ends with so much happiness for the two brothers. They're clear, they're in sync with each other, both musically and connected at the heart. They're a team, and Tak is looking forward to being king. He's like, yeah, soon I'll be king with my brother by my side, and he's just so happy about that Mufasa will be beside him for this. And we see the two still playing together, even though they're grown up now. And it looks like everything's going good, but it makes what's coming all the harder. And even though the two are still playing together, you can see the competitiveness is still between them. Because how does the song end? With a race, with them still competing. Even though I love that moment where they touch their heads affectionately together.
Hey Mufasa! Stucker! I'll race you to the other side! Race you to the other side! Race you to the other side!
Those are just my thoughts on I Always Wanted a Brother. I think there was some really great music in Mufasa in general, and like I said, this is my favorite song in the movie. I hope you all enjoyed my thoughts on it. I hope you all get a chance to see this movie soon, even if you can't get to see it in theaters or in some other way. At least it's going to be on Disney Plus sometime in the near future. So, I know a lot of us did not like the live action, quote unquote, live action remake, but I really think this one's worth a chance. The CGI at least is a lot better, it's got good music, so I think it's worth a try. So, check out Mufasa the Lion King, and until next time, remember the magic.